Hello, pronta, escuchai, certo maior a conta.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we ready, I think.
Nice.
Hi everyone, and this is the UNYP Podcast, and today we have another very special guest, who is Sara Osman. Hi Sara.
Hi Peter.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I'm interested what questions you have for me.
Well, I prepared it last night, so we'll see.
In 10 minutes.
Some
yeah,
might be horrible, some might be great, but I already predict it's all gonna be maybe more free flow.
Okay.
But the reason I invited Sara, of course, not only because she's a very interesting personality, but also because she is part of the Student Council. As you might know, this podcast is presented to you, I guess, by the Student Council, and you are the event manager.
I am.
Can you tell me why did you choose this position? Because if I remember at the meeting, you were already like, I want event manager.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so for many years, I was really interested in like organizational activities. So there, for example, there is this organization, European Youth Parliament, and I was active there for like 3 years. And I tried myself in like very different kind of things. For example, you can be like a chairperson, you can be a delegate. So it's like a political kind of organization. But the one that I really liked was being an organizer. So I really liked this whole process of like when you have nothing and you just have an idea and then you make it happen with your team. So you try to find a place, you try to find, I don't know, sponsorships, you try to do something so people will be actually interested to come. So I just like to work with people and I like to make things happen, I guess. That's why I chose event managing for now.
But it's not our first time
Yeah.
in Student Council. What did you do before?
So I joined a Student Council last year. It was fall of last year. And it was all...
2020 or no, 2019?
20...
What you mean? For this Student Council?
No, so like not this fall, but the fall before that. So that was 2020...
Fall 2020. So
Yeah.
already COVID was happening?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
So I just heard that there's like Student Council happening. I didn't know what is that. I talked to Rufat and he was already a Student Council for like a year or so. So he asked me if I would be interested. And for example, now we have like 9 positions, right? And so everyone has like a specific job to do. But at that moment, we didn't have a lot of people who would be interested at all. So we had like 4 to 5 positions. And so it was like, if you can do this, do this. So I was kind of doing PR. We couldn't really do any events. So it was just, I would say I was
Everything.
more, yeah, but mostly I think I was doing PR. I was doing some posters and posting them and doing like stories and things like this.
Back to your position about like the event manager, right? So you made some trips, events, right? Are there any you're really proud of? And maybe is there some event that you think that really didn't go by plan and you don't really like to talk about it? You have to be critical of yourself too, you know. Something just failed or somebody else failed it.
Okay, I would start from like your last sentence about being critical, because if you would ever talk to me before the event, I'm the most critical person about myself, because I'm always like I don't
It's gonna fail.
Yeah, I'm trying to not say to other people, but like if you just look at me, most of the time I'm like, what is happening? And I'm trying to be like very organized and very like, so, for example, okay, I already know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the Kutná Hora and Brno trip.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
I was there, yeah.
Just a note there. But yeah, I'm always trying to think about like all the best possibilities, like all the bad stuff that could happen.
All the scenarios.
It works for me, you know, because I'm being like this, I'm being a little like stressed, but the stress like helps me. So yeah, okay, like answering your question, what didn't go by plan? Of course, it was Brno trip. So if you don't know, Student Council was planning to go to Brno, but unfortunately, a tree fell on the train while we were going there, and I have to
not
say,
on our train.
Yeah, thankfully, I have to say a big thank you to Peter, for helping me at that specific, and not on that specific moment. Like,
that's the only check in the whole
yes,
trip.
yes.
I was given the responsibility.
Yeah, so we had to change the whole plan. I had everything written down hour by hour that we will go to that place. Plan. Yeah, then we will go to that. I sent everything, like all the maps, and then just in one moment we have to change everything. And I was already imagining like students gonna be angry. And they're going to be like, oh, that was such a bad event with Student Council. We'll never join them again. So I'm imagining this in my head. I'm like, okay, we need to do something. So that was the one. But it worked out really well.
It was like 25 people. It's not easy to organize 25 people.
Exactly. Like 25 people, and all of them are, I don't know. They all they all are looking at you, and they expect you to know what to do at this specific moment. But it worked out. But yeah, that was very stressful for me. For us,
the most difficult part was, I think, the moment when the train stopped in Kolín and they said, "Oh, we're not going to Brno anymore," and we decided to get out of the train. Mm-hmm. But like the
last second,
they didn't want, like, they even didn't want to let us out. They were like, "Oh, it's late."
The guy was so mad.
Yeah.
We
were ready to put our bodies on the line, like, fuck,
yeah,
it doesn't matter, like, it's just like we can. It was a very, I think it turned out well. We made the best out of the situation.
Yeah, we did.
Is there something that you're really proud of, like this one was a hit, like?
Mm-hmm.
You like to, like, I did this event, this is my work, and
so first of all, I would say Budapest, but I have to say that like a lot, I personally helped connecting UNYP students with the organization that really helps us, the UNYP Prague organization. So of course, most of the organizational part, not most of it, like all the organizational part is done by them. But from UNYP, like I and Chiara, at that moment, we had to promote it and like just organizing people. But if I would just think about like memories that we had, I feel like that was like one of the most memorable events, and people are still talking about like how fun it was to go to Budapest all together. So that maybe I personally feel like I yet didn't do a big event that I'm like, this is the event, but maybe actually a Halloween party. That was when I was so stressed. Because because I was so stressed. Oh my God. Because like when you just go to clubs, you know that there's going to be like 1,000 people, and it doesn't matter, we're going to have 40 students from UNYP or we're going to have 100 UNYP students. But here it's only us on this specific floor of Karlovy Vary. So I'm just like, I'm planning all of this. I'm talking to Sandro from UNYP Prague and like our team and everything. But I'm like, oh my God, what if people will not come? And like, I have these tickets, so we have to sell these tickets, and I'm sitting at Opus, and Diana is coming to Opus to also sell tickets. And I'm like, oh my God, no, what if it's gonna be like 100 people on the floor in that club? And once again, like, I'm not projecting that fear because I don't want other people to like see it and to be like, oh, okay, she's stressed, it's gonna be a bad event. So I'm like trying to do everything so it will actually happen, and it happened, and people were happy, and they actually dressed up, and the pictures were amazing.
Yeah, Halloween costumes.
Yes, I would say maybe that one as well. It was.
Didn't you give your personal number to people, like, contact you if something is happening?
My personal number is everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. It's already public.
Yeah, like before, I remember like a couple of years ago, I would be like so like safe with my number, like not giving it to anyone. But now all the Google forms, like if you're registering for some event, you're like, emergency number, Sara Osman about.
You should get like a work number or something.
I should.
No, this is always surprises me because for some reason, many people have my number, so like a number starts calling me, and I'm like, "Who the hell is this?" And it's like, "Hi, and I'm like, "What? Who's this?" And then somebody says, "Oh," and like, "How did you get my number? Like, where did you find it?" And he was like, "Oh, somebody gave it to me." Like,
I thought you would like refer to that time when we just gave Petra's number to everyone.
Great. That was amazing.
To everyone.
Love that.
It was the orientation week.
It was orientation, but it was like for new students, but it was mostly just Erasmus students. Yeah. But yeah, on the other weeks, there was just my number there. I was like,
Petr Jirsa.
I didn't agree to this. I couldn't care less. Let's be honest. Like, I'm actually very excited when somebody calls me because it doesn't happen like this has to be serious.
Yeah.
If it's a phone, it has to be like a big deal.
Yeah.
Usually, it's like, oh, do you want to go to the pub or something? You know, but I do like that.
But I started getting some weird calls from people.
Weird calls.
Yeah, I don't know. No, but it was like some old man. Doesn't matter.
Well,
I just don't know where
we'll
he
not,
got
we'll
my
not
number.
get into
We're
that.
not going there.
We're
Yeah.
not going there. Do you think it's all worth it?
Yes.
All the struggles or the stress?
It totally does, because I'm comparing my life, if I'm like talking specifically about myself,
Of course.
like now and maybe my first year, and I would not even talk about like the second year because it's COVID and we all are sitting at home, but I just feel like life is happening right now. And I also like to like with the help of our team to create memories for other people, because I just feel like it's so nice that you can like put something into someone else's friendship. Like someone met each other at Kahoot night or in Budapest, or I don't know, someone started dating in Budapest or something like this, just because this event was organized and someone and they went there. I feel like it's so cool. It's totally worth it.
And like also when we talked about this, when we saw the floor and student lounge were already changed, it felt really good because like you're doing something.
It's
right?
real, yeah.
And it's something that's gonna stay there. Now and people might not like it and people might like it, but at the end of the day, it's like you are supposed to be only a student and you're supposed to only consume the education.
Yeah.
But when you're actually able to produce something and change the school, it's pretty cool. I think student council is good for that. Now, you might be limited to your position in the way what you have to do, but like I think at the end of the day, you did so many stuff that you didn't have to do.
Yeah.
And you learned many new things.
That's actually a very good point about just learning, because in the very beginning, I remember I had no idea how do I contact organizations, how do I organize parties. And it's actually, I think it's very important in the beginning of your career of like organizing something, or just let's talk about organizational activities in general, to know that you need to learn and you need to ask questions, and you don't have to be ashamed of this at all. Because I remember I was writing to some people who were event managers before me. I think I was also writing to Denai, I'm not sure, and also like to some other people who work in that sphere. So I was like, teach me like how, like parties, who do I write to, how do I sell tickets, how do I get at this moment, like we were still trying to like organize our work. So I was also asking about discounts, but we have development manager and he's mostly working on that. But yeah, I had no idea, and I'm still I'm in like in the beginning of my way, so I'm still asking a lot of questions, and just learning how it all happens, how it all works.
You were also very active, as you said before, UNYP as a student. You mentioned the
UNYP.
European Youth Parliament.
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
It was a big thing for me. I first of all, it helped me like with my English and like with meeting a lot of friends. But it's an amazing organization. It's basically, once again, you have nothing. You have an idea that you want to make an event. You want to make a conference, and you just discuss a lot of like different political problems, mostly in EU. And then you organize conference when you have like different committees, and each committee is working on some specific topic, and they prepare their resolutions. And you have to like from an organizational side, you have to prepare like this whole conference for 4 days, including like the venues, like interesting activities, team buildings, lunch, I don't know, like all of this. You have to prepare it, and it was a learning experience, and it's so fun. Like it's not only about just like learning how to organize, making money for some other organization, because we're not really making money here, but it's also about just at the end of the day when you're just coming home and you're like, wow, this happened. That was so cool.
The feeling.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And it seems that you were interested in politics and you were doing political stuff, but you chose psychology as your major. Mm-hmm.
So I would say that, okay, if we look at the big picture, I was never really interested in politics. Like my family, they are in theater, so I was always like in theater, like acting and all of this. But UYP was like the first step when I was like, interesting. But I was as I told you, like there are like different committees, and I was never interested in like I think it's called econ, so like it's mostly talking about like economics and stuff. But there were one about like mostly like feminism, so like women rights and just human rights in general, and I think environmental issues. That was like 3 topics that I was like, I'm actually really interested in that. Like I never really thought about like all these problems happening in the world. I don't know, like we don't really discuss it. I feel like we didn't really discuss like politics at school. So that was like my first step. And also you learned this whole procedure of like how it works like in European Parliament. How do you write a resolution? How do you do your research to understand like were there already some measures taken in European Union, some specific country in European Union or not? So that was like completely new for me, and it just kind of taught me that I don't want to talk about like other people, like you need to be like educated in politics. No, of course. But for me personally, I understood that it's hard to be, it's hard for me to choose like, I don't care about politics. Like it's always there, and it's good to be educated at least on matters that are interested to you. You as a politics person, international relations guy, it's probably your whole life. But for me,
not really.
No, okay. But for me, it wasn't. And then when I started kind of to get educated on that, like the kind of a new world opened for me.
I think I actually like what you said, because it's kind of true. Like we cannot really escape politics, and I think like when you see like after 2020 the COVID hit and people started to realize, actually these politicians that we elect are actually way more important than we think, and we cannot really escape it. We can't really escape politics. We might try to.
Yeah, it's important to know, to have this like boundary kind of, to not for me personally, like to not get too much into that. So maybe it's the psychologist in me, I don't know, like to care about your mental health, because like even now during COVID as well, when you are reading so much about what is happening in the world, you're getting anxious, you're getting stressed, you feel hopeless and stuff like this. So I think like it's good to get educated, but also to like have this balance.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like that you might have one expert which studied his whole life, read millions of books, and then there's just one guy who's this random guy, and he might have a better opinion, and you might agree with him more than his expert.
Totally.
I think it's with everything. Maybe in medicine, but it's the difference. But well, I wanted to ask, and that was like because you said that you were very active already as a student when you were back in Azerbaijan, because you were from Azerbaijan.
Yes.
Would you say you were more active then than now? Or now you are like, I'm the active student that I really wanted to be? So, because for me, like I definitely am more active now. It's because my high school, I really enjoyed it, but it didn't give me like that possibilities like to be as active. It was more like just going to classes, being with friends. But here it's different. Would you say that you're more active now or before?
Okay, good question. I feel like in comparison, I would say like I was more active before, but because like I had more time to be active. And as I said, like my first year, it was like still trying to understand Prague and understanding what is happening. Second half of my first year, COVID happened. I went home, another year at home. So I feel like I only had like 1 semester of being active at UNYP. So last semester and like this semester also. So like 6-7 months. So in comparison to what I was doing back in Baku in Azerbaijan, I was doing more, but maybe because I'm thinking about like the time frame as well. Yeah.
I wanted to move from the study questions. Of course, it's important to know who you are, why are you here. But maybe I would like to ask, why are you in Prague? How did that happen?
Okay.
Because like, why are you in this room? Yeah, cool. But why Prague? You know, because are you from Baku exactly, or?
Yes, I'm from Baku. I was born and raised in Baku.
So how does a Baku girl end up in the beautiful city of Prague?
I always wanted to go to study in Prague. It was
I thought so.
I like Prague a lot, and I'm really glad I'm here, but I didn't plan it at all. I was actually planning to go to Netherlands. But
Maastricht?
No, to Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Yeah,
okay.
Rotterdam. I gave my accent there, Rotterdam.
You already have it.
Yeah, to be honest, like my last year of school, I would just give like some background. It was a lot. Like I was having my Azerbaijani state exams, and there was like a lot of stuff happening, and I was not sure I'll be able to go to Europe to study because I didn't have time, and I with the state exams, and Azerbaijani state exams are so hard. It's like your maturita thingy.
Yeah, maturita.
It's
you have both of them.
Yeah.
You have Czech maturita too.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yes, yeah. So, and I needed IELTS to be able to go to Europe, and I didn't have time to have a tutor or something. And my mom was like, "I cannot help you. If you want to take your IELTS exam, good luck." So I kind of had to just buy these books and study by myself and do online practice exams and stuff because I did not want to take the state exams. I still did, and I passed it. But I also passed my IELTS exam, and I was like, okay, maybe I actually can. And it was already spring, so I'm late to everything. But then, a very important moment in my life, there was this exchange program. There is this exchange program, Flex, and you go. You don't know about that part of my life.
Flex,
Flex. Okay. Flex. Yeah.
Is that the US or?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I do not know much about it.
It's a very, very interesting, amazing exchange program. I'm not sure with which countries does it specifically work, but it works in Azerbaijan. And so you are going through different tests and interviews and essays and all of that. And if you're chosen, you're going to study in States for 1 year for free. You're going to American high school. And so super randomly, just I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, it's Flex exam. What is this? What is happening? So I went there just for fun, and they're different stages. And so I get a message you passed your first stage. I'm like, okay, cool. But first stage was just a grammar exam or something like that. Then I'm going to second stage, and at the same time on the background I have preparations for state exam, IELTS, my mom stressing out and everything. So second stage, I passed my second stage. It was some long essay about your life,
You already getting through. You're like, well, this is interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting. I didn't plan that. Then the third stage, and it's getting serious. Because in the beginning we had more than 1,000 people, and now it's 50 or something, and it's. I actually started to think about that, but it's my dad was oh, you're going to States for a year. My dad's very supportive. I love my dad, but he was scared, of course, going, you alone, one girl, you're going to States no, this is not happening. But of course I didn't know that would actually happen. So, but I passed all of it, and there were only, I think, 15 finalists from the whole Azerbaijan. So they're you can go to States to study for 1 year. And so I passed all my exams, but I didn't have to go to university. So all of this, I left it there, and I went to States. And I actually forgot what was the initial question. Why I came to Prague.
Yeah. You drifted very far away, but it's fine.
Yes. So I had 1 more year to think where I want to go, what I want to do. And so I will connect it to your question now, finally.
I believe so.
My year in States is a completely different question. If you will be interested in asking anything about that, I would be happy to answer. But now I will not go deep into that. But I kind of felt I like this vibe, let's say. I like this American education. I like how is this happening, how it works. So when I was applying to universities from States, I was looking for American education somewhere. But at the same time, I was thinking about Netherlands because I just liked one specific program that I found there. So I had UNYP. I liked this whole American vibe that I can get here, and I had this another university in Netherlands. But at the end, I decided like, yes, I want that vibe, and I really liked the curriculum and everything that I saw online. And actually university was very helpful in the whole process of like application, and I remember that I actually missed my interview with Dr. Sanders because
you didn't do the interview.
No,
you cheated your way through.
No. I had my interview, but like it was scheduled for like specific day, specific time, and I didn't take into consideration the time difference or something like that. I was like, I have my
I'm surprised you've been accepted.
I was stressed, okay?
It's
no, and I thought
understandable.
it's going to be at 11 p.m. at night because I was like, Europe, States, there's like a big time difference, so it's fine that I'm going to have my interview at 11 p.m. at night. But it was actually 11 a.m. And so I'm getting this call from Dr. Sanders, University of New York in Prague, on my Skype. And during
your Skype.
I think it was Skype. Yeah, it was Skype.
Skype.
Yeah.
Skype.
And I'm in my American history class, and I'm, oh my God, you should have seen me. I was like, it's like, oh my God, I missed my interview. What I'm gonna do? And so I'm writing this whole message to someone from administration explaining.
Putting extreme, I've been hit by a bus.
Yes,
I was in the hospital. I was in a coma for 2 days. I was just trying to talk your way through it.
But everything was fine. I had my interview after that. It was pretty cool. It was a very, very nice interview with Dr.
Well, it seems
Sander.
that your times in the US were so great you forgot about
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So that's how I ended up in Prague. I was looking for American university, and the whole idea of like going to Prague, to Czech Republic, it was like I liked it. It was not like, oh, I like the university, but I'm not sure about Prague. No, I was actually like, wow. And I've been to Prague before that one time. It was a very nice trip with my mom in 2014, I think. So I had some nice memories about Prague. Yeah. So yeah, that's my answer to your question.
No, because like I saw your TikTok.
That's
It's not very hard to find. And there that you already have like videos. It's more like your, I don't know, it looks like a diary or yeah.
It is kind of, yeah.
And there's like videos like ever since you are at UNYP, it's more like Prague. It's based more Prague. And so it just seemed to me that you might have like not fell in love, but like you started really liking the city in the way you're like, I'm gonna make like videos about my favorite places in Prague. And
I would say that I fell in love with Prague because and that was a process. That was very interesting, complex relationships, because at first I was a little like scared, like I'm not sure, do I like it here or not? But then like a little tip for new students who just arrived to Prague: take walks, just random walks, or pick some cafe or maybe like a pub, a bar, whatever you're interested in some area. Like, I don't know, choose some specific area in Prague, choose some bar, cafe, restaurant, anything in there, maybe gallery, and just walk there. And on your way, you will find so much stuff. And that's what I was doing. And I feel like I don't do it as much right now, but I would like to when it will get warmer. So I started just walking by myself, and I really like to record this like short videos like this. I don't know, like you just try to capture this moment, and I really like going back to that, as you said, like to my diary, and to see like, I don't know, last year at this moment I was walking down this street and I was having this chai latte or something like that. So
well, you're so right, because Prague is and that's like when you travel around the world, right? You go to cities in which it's not like that easy just to walk around the city. So, like when you travel, you're often not used to walk around. You go by public transport to the places which you want to see.
Yeah.
But like Prague is such a walkable city. Like it's a big city. The center in itself, if you could walk for 1 hour, it doesn't feel like it, because you see everything all the time. And the city in itself is like beautiful. It's very old. You have beautiful buildings. A great recommendation for people is to at least for a second, of course, because it's dangerous to look up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, look up.
Look up.
That's the best tip. If you, when you're walking, just like stop and do like this and do like this, because most of the time you would see like amazing. I don't even know how to say that in English, but like all this things.
And
yes,
like
yes, yeah.
paintings and like on the building.
It's amazing.
Because like in the bottoms of the buildings, you have these ATMs, these yellow blue ATM, which is definitely a scam, and then you have like these like nice coffee shops, but also like these shops with food and the fake marijuana, which makes people think that the drugs are legal here. But if you just look up, it's all the history and it's all beautiful. You know, like you can take, if you go from UNYP, you can take a beautiful walk all the way to the Prague Castle.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna hurt because it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's always nice.
Take trams. Like, so if you don't want to walk, take a tram.
Yeah.
I don't
Instead
know, like,
of a metro.
Maybe like number 20, because 20 goes like up to like Malostranska. I'm not sure.
Is it 22?
Maybe 22. Just like central, like the central trams, and just look out the window. If you don't want to walk, if you're not a walking person, just watch it. It's so cool.
And there's different types of trams.
Yes.
There's some which are even like with big windows, and they have more light and they're more beautiful. Yeah,
but I like the old ones more.
The old one, yeah. But not as like there's some from Porsche or something, and that one's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. You can. There's on YouTube. There's a video about Czech trams.
I will watch it.
That's actually very interesting. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. So you already mentioned like how was like what tip you have for people who are here for the first time. Like, so your experience in the beginning, was it more like a shock or?
No, I didn't have a shock. I think I was uncertain. I was, I think I mentioned that before. I was more like,
what is this?
Different language, which like because I speak Russian, it's easier to pick up Czech if you're trying, but still it's a different language, it's a different culture, it's Europe, you know. I wasn't in shock. I was just like, this is a little different. And also after a year in that's what I forgot about. So after a year in States, maybe that would be a little stereotypical, but like I feel like in States, maybe not. I don't know. Like people are like more like open like this, you know. And even when you come to like a coffee place, it would be like, oh hi, what can I get for you? It's like it's so like, and I like it. I really like this kind of energy. So at first when I just came to Prague, it was a little different. I don't know. And I'm not only talking about like when you go to Česká pošta, and it's more like
Česká pošta.
Česká pošta. Yes.
The Czech mail office.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to compare like a coffee place, and of course, like it's a different. But still, I felt like the vibe from people was a little different. Not better, not worse. Just different. You know. So maybe that was not a shock. It was just like I need to learn. I need to learn how to communicate, and I need to learn Czech. That's a very important tip as well. Try to learn.
It's a very easy language to learn. Very easy. No, it's horrible.
I would say
I cannot even speak Czech properly.
I would say that if you're an English speaker, it's harder. If you have some Slavic background, let's say, like if
Russian,
Ukrainian, it might be easier. But once again, just try to learn some basic stuff, so you would be able to order, to answer a call when Walt is calling you or something like that.
The Czech people will appreciate it.
Yes, that's very important. You're showing your respect in a way. But yeah, I didn't have a shock. I was just a little like uncertain about stuff.
And is that the sort of the different attitude, like in cafes and mail offices, that a thing that you don't really like about Prague and Czech Republic, or is there something that you like? You always say like Prague is a beautiful city, but there's this one thing, you know, which I do not like.
I feel okay. So I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I don't know. I feel like people in Azerbaijan, they're also like very like warm kind of nation. You know, like they're like more like they open their soul, like come to my house, be my guest kind of thing. But maybe I feel like I'm in a community of like international students, and I'm living in a center. So maybe I didn't have this experience of like like for example, like in States, I had this host family that are Americans, but I didn't live like with Czech people. So maybe I don't know enough, you know, like living my life as a Czech person kind of thing. I feel like it will take years. I still feel like I'm an expat, like I'm an international student. But going back to my point about Azerbaijan, there was this contrast. Like people are maybe a little, I don't want to say colder. I don't want to put this like labels, like cold people, warm people. But they have this distance, you know, like they have this distance between like you and me kind of. So at first it was a little like, uncomfortable maybe, especially after States as well. But I wouldn't say I don't like it. I just had to learn. And that's pretty much all.
Well, of course, we are here also to make good tips to any students or people in Prague. And you mentioned like, so you're a coffee person, I suppose, very much a coffee lover. Well, you had a coffee here. Oh yeah, that's right there. Is it? Did you finish it?
Yes, of course.
That's good. That would be bad if it got cold. So, do you have like your, coffee place or a place that you really like to go to?
Okay, so I would say like oh my god, I'm sorry,
It's fine. You can destroy it. It's fine. It's fine.
Good question. Even though, like as you mentioned, I'm a coffee person, but I feel like I don't have like my favorite coffee place in Prague. I have it in Baku, but in Prague, I just have this like favorite activity of like finding some nice coffee places, and I'm a very like sweet coffee person. Like I like milky, like I like yes. I'm not Americano type of person. Maybe cold brew sometimes when I'm like I need to like work a lot. But yeah, I'm like caramel latte kind of person and chai latte and.
In the Opus, I just tried. It's Greek. It's called Freddo Espresso.
I remember it. Yeah. GM, general manager, was talking about that.
And I tried it for the first time. Like, I asked in the Opus, and I asked it for the Freddo Espresso. And it's like, right, like a black coffee with ice. But damn, it's nice. It's nice, but it lasts for long. That's the key. Like it lasts for long. But there's no milk. It's just a coffee, and you might sweeten it or not. I don't sweeten my coffee at all. So I just had it like that. And to be honest, I'm getting it more often now because I would definitely recommend that one.
Yeah. It's
nothing that you like would order normally, but because it's a typical Greek, it's a recommendation.
I will try it out for sure. Like I'm open to. So I'm not saying that like I only drink my milky sweet coffee. I'm happy to try anything. So I would try it out. But yeah, so I would say that especially if I'm taking walks, I would like to if I see some nice coffee place, I would stop by. But if I'm talking about like the atmosphere, and especially if I'm like I need to like work a lot, I love Café Du. It's on
Café Du. Heard about it?
It's been like 2 years, maybe more, since I've been coming there with my laptop. I like people.
Is that place where you make the Zoom calls from?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
I like people working there. I like raspberry tartaletka that they have. It's amazing. And I just really like the atmosphere. Like you see all these people working, and it gives me a lot of like motivation to just like I can spend hours there. So yeah, I would say that maybe for work and for that's the place for me.
Mama Coffee or Opus?
Opus.
Well,
I like Mama Coffee. It's just the size of coffee is small for me.
It is, right?
Yes.
The coffee is maybe a little better, but
the vibe is cool in Mama Coffee. I like it.
With me and coffee, and now I don't know if I should publicly say this, but I think I told you that. With me and coffee, I usually got like espressos and stuff, but ever since we go to the university.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to wear masks. I'm trying to get bigger coffees, so I have a little time off, and I can take the mask off and drink, and I have more time, more drinking. Maybe I should not say this, but
at the same time.
Well, I'm not gonna mention the name of one person, but he will know. He'll just eat like apple.
I know. Hi.
He doesn't really put it out of his mouth. Just like, well, it's like the same as the people on like airplanes. I remember that like we were flying in 2020 the first time. and people just ordered the food and ate it for 2 hours. Just like
yes,
2
yes.
hours.
And
They didn't have masks.
That was interesting. Like we all are in mask, but then like it's time for food and everyone's just taking their mask off and like eating. So yeah, I remember those times. Yeah.
Okay, when we're talking about food,
Yeah.
I brought you something. Maybe you already had it or didn't. I bought it before we came here in the Vietnamese shop. Right down the street. It's 2 Czech sweets, if you're into that. Are you into sweets?
Yes.
So you might know them, okay? So these are like, I don't know how to put it in English, bonbons or... You know these kyselé žížalky?
Yes.
You have them already?
Yes.
Okay, we'll just have them because I love them.
I love it.
And did you have mignonky?
No.
Okay, we'll try mignonky then.
Mignonky.
Okay, so we will open this up because I'm actually starving right now.
I didn't have my breakfast.
I'm actually not gonna open this, you know? Okay, good. Oh, here you go.
I'm all ready.
I'm into these. And then there's the fishes.
Mm-hmm. Kyselé
For people
žížalky.
who only listen to this, it's bonbons. It's called yo-yo. Kyselé žížalky, which is like
Making promotion for
how would
yo-yo.
you translate it? Like
sour
worms.
Yeah. Žížalky is worms.
Yeah, it's worms. You know, you see there's like the shape of it.
A new tip: žížalky is worms.
This is the OG bonbons in Czech Republic.
Ovočná štáva.
We have here very good bonbons. We have the Haribo, but we have Yo-Yo. It's a Czech brand, and it's pretty good.
Nice, I like it. I like sour.
Actually, you don't know if it's Czech, but it just might not be actually. But it's just like you guys.
Popular in Czech Republic. Okay.
No. But mignonka is Czech. Okay. It's like what Czech kids eat. And mignonka is this chocolate. How would you call it?
Waffles.
Waffles? You tried?
Mignonky.
It's very good. It's like, I don't know how to compare it, but it's very nice. It's small. Yeah, you're already making a mess in the meeting room, number 2. I wanted to ask you, like the last thing, which you already mentioned the theater.
Yes.
But we also have together, right, the Ask Universe.
Yes.
And you always dance, you always sing there, right, all the time. Like, honestly, all the time. Like, you don't see it on the videos, or sometimes you do. We had the Shakira dance, or what was that?
Check our bloopers.
But always, you dance, you sing, and everything. So, do you have history of dancing and singing, or was it just like your passion and it's random?
Okay, so that's actually such a cool question because I'm so happy to answer this question. So, as I mentioned before, so my dad is an actor, my mom, she's like a stage manager, my sister is an actress. So I was born and I grew up in a theater, Russian drama theater in Baku, Azerbaijan. And even when I was like still like this size, I was behind the stage because my mom was doing like all the stage managing, and my dad was on the stage, so no one would be able to look after me. My sister sometimes, but she was also busy with like school or anything. But yeah, I would be there, and my dad, he would when I was like very, very small, he would be dancing with me, and he's a very great dancer, so I was always like kind of in that thing. But it's also like destiny of many theater kids that one day you would be on the stage anyway. They would need a child to perform something, and my sister went through that, my brother went through that. But my brother didn't become a theater person. He's more in like computer science stuff. Anyways, so I was like 6 or 5, and it was my first performance. It was interesting, and my dad, my whole family said I was like very serious about that. I was on the stage. I was always like, yeah, I have to focus. I'm working, and I liked it. And then I had some other performances, but it was like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes on the stage, something like that. And there was like evening performances, like for adults. And then there were like this morning performances for children. And we had, okay, so if I will translate it, it's like Guess the Fairy Tale. So it's more like a show than a play.
Guess the Fairy Tale.
Yeah, so there's like this how do I anyway, so there's these actors who come up on the stage and they're like, I have a mic here, I have a second mic here.
You already used I have it in the back.
My favorite mic.
Yeah,
okay.
the favorite mic.
So, and they're like asking questions, so audience has to guess what fairy tale they're talking about, and then this fairy tale comes on the stage, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So
they have to guess it, and then they're like, oh, I won.
So
Cool.
there were like a couple of performances like this, and that's where I started to work hard, because it was a lot of dancing, a lot of singing and everything. So, and I was like 9, 10, 11. I've been doing that for I was doing that for like 4 years or more. And it was hard work. So you work on the same level with all the other actors. So it's long rehearsals, it's dancing. And I love dancing. Coming back to your question, this is something that, so I was thinking about that like a couple of days ago when I'm organizing some events, and this like nice feeling of excitement that you have, maybe some stress as I mentioned before, but still like this excitement of, oh my God, we're going somewhere, we're doing something. And it's similar to what I feel when I dance. When I'm doing the rehearsal and when like we're rehearsing and then they turn on the music, we're doing it, and this feeling of like that's similar. Maybe that's why I like this event managing, because like you have this like wave of excitement because of something. So yeah, I was doing this guest fairy tale for like 4 years or something, and then I had to stop because I had to prepare for my state exams and everything. It was kind of sad, but still at school we also had dancing group, and I was there and I loved it. It was most like national dances. So I was going, I was planning to be an actress. Yeah.
You still could?
Thank you. No, but actually I really wanted to do that. I wanted to follow my dad's steps, my sister's steps. I still love it, and maybe one day, I don't know. But it's also like when you are growing up in that environment, I feel like you either go for it because you know a lot of tips that other people don't because you grew up in it, or because you know all of this, because you know all this like backstage, let's say, you're like, that's stressful in a way that like I don't know, the stability, you don't have the stability sometimes, because you don't know, today you might be famous and today you might be working well with a specific director, but tomorrow you don't know what's going to happen. And it's always it's a lot, and I'm very proud of my sister. She's an amazing actress. She's an amazing person, and my dad as well. But I felt like, no, that's not my moment right now. I'm not going to do that. And I'm happy that I chose psychology. But yeah. Anyways, and so when I went to States, my host mother, she learned, like when she was looking at my, my application, she read about like theater and everything. So she was like, we have a very good theater in our in Indiana. I was living in Nashville, Indiana, and there was this Brown County High School, and they have a very good theater department. And so that was one of the reasons why she was like, I want to take this girl. And they actually have a very good theater department. And my first day when I came to States, I was like, okay. And I was confused in my head, because I was like, it's my first day, I'm going to come home. And then tomorrow I have this audition. But no, I came to States. I had this long flight from Washington to Indiana. And I met my host mom. It was super nice, and big thanks to my host mom. I love her a lot. And my coordinator, and we're going to Olive Garden. I think that's the
Garden, yeah.
And I'm like, cool.
Is that the Italian?
Yes, yeah. It was cool. And so we're going there, and she's like, you're going to your audition in 1 hour. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was so...
I'm not prepared.
No, I'm not. And on my way to school, I'm reading the play, and I'm only reading my part, and I have no idea what is this about, because like I'm reading about like, I am a German psychic. My name is Helga Tendorf, I think. And I'm like, what is this?
Who's this?
Who is this? What is happening? And so I'm coming to school, and there's all these students, and I have no idea who they are, what is happening. And this is literally my first day, my first hour at school. So it was my and I went through that audition, and then there's like callbacks. So if they liked you during your first audition, you're gonna have your second audition. So long story short, I was how do I say, like, accepted. I became an actress in that specific play. I was so great, and I felt like, yes, like now I feel good. My experience in States started very well because I'm kind of, it's a new experience, it's a new life, but I'm still connected to my childhood, kind of. I'm in theater once again. So we had this play, and then we had musical, and I could dance again. So it was a great experience. So yeah, this is my story of like theater, dancing, and I love it. I genuinely enjoy it, and sometimes I'm a little sad that like right now I'm not really doing it. But maybe I will find a way, and I will have a new dancing club. You always could.
There's so many theaters which accept everybody. I don't know like how in English, but probably even more. Like I've been like dragged into theater by my friend, who just said, "Hey, we need a guy to play this role."
Yeah.
It was this very small role because it's just you come in 2 times, and you'll just, because it's like few lines, and you'll come in 2 times to try, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. And I came in there, but they had issues with people not going there all the time, right? So sometimes this role was empty and this role was empty. So during the practices, I was the guy who played like 4 roles at the same time, because everybody needed to practice their roles, right? And I had this little one, but I played like 4 roles. I had this script and was just running around because I was playing 4 roles at the same time. So I actually knew every single character.
That's cool.
So if somebody was out, I already like knew the character. But I actually played like a delivery guy and a bodyguard, which I'm not really. Don't really have I only have the height, which is something at least. But it was fun. Theater is fun. The people there are very fun.
It is fun.
It's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Definitely exciting. I want to move to the last part.
Okay.
Because we're moving to the end. And I already also did this with the previous interview with Peppa. And it's partially on the... it follows on the basis of the Ask Unipers, which is just asking random questions. But the first one is actually not random, because that one is something we had a meeting yesterday here. And I was looking on the internet to find Sara Osman and Sara Osmanova to see what can I find, right? So I found, of course, I find some profiles and stuff. Yeah, I looked to her Facebook. It was like very interesting. It was like post with just 3 smiley faces and a chicken. It was very interesting.
It's like 2012. Come on.
Yeah, like you remember it well.
I remember that one.
Surprisingly, I found that there is a Czech version of Sara Osmanova.
She's a model or something.
She is a model. She's the finalist of the Miss Czech Republic.
I know, right?
Would you think? Would you be? Would you think about like the competition? Would you be also up for it? Up to go to Miss Azerbaijan or
so
to be the second model, Sara Osmanova, or the first, arguably?
That's an interesting question. Yes, why not? Maybe I'm
Why
not
not?
very tall, but
Yeah,
I love myself.
It's 2022. People already don't care about these things.
Yeah, maybe.
You can always say discrimination on height, and you'll be fine. Nobody would care.
But a lot of these competitions are like always based on like specific. Okay, you got political too fast. Based on like specific beauty standards. So I don't know.
Also, you need a talent. You already have it. You already have it, which is important. Then you need to say that you would like to help the poor and help old people and establish world peace.
I mean, we're already talking about
stuff.
We're already talking about organizing something like that. So yeah.
Okay, the next question is, and I also kind of relates because I'm actually interested because I didn't look that up because I wanted to ask it. You are, I guess, somebody who's an actress. You would say. Is there any way we can find you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Where? Or at least not like, you don't need to give us the name, but what is it?
Okay, so there was this short movie, and I was there with my dad, by the way. But before it was available by link, so I'm not sure. But I can send you a link so you can take a look.
I'll be glad to watch it.
It was more like a dramatic kind of thing, and it was like supporting children. Yeah,
it was deep. It was deep.
Yeah, it was supporting children with some. Okay, I don't specifically remember. I was very young, but yeah. So that short movie, and maybe there would be something from Russian drama theater, like some of the performances that I was doing. But yeah, you can find me, and from UNYP as well. Yeah, they've been posting a lot of videos, but it's not related to theater.
Oh,
so.
well, you can send me the link, and
I will.
I'll take a look, and of course, then you'll be on YouTube with this too, with your name. So I will be the first thing that pops up probably. Or the model. We don't know. I haven't researched.
We need to get more views than that model. We need to be first.
We have to check how many views that she have.
Yeah.
Then we need to move on with the questions because I just will have like 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Describe me your refrigerator. What's inside your fridge? What's inside? Is there something strange?
So. Right now with my fridge, I don't have a lot of stuff because I've been like at my friend's place and my place like this. But okay, let's imagine like normal day. I would have some salmon. I would have pasta. I would have cream. I really like just.
You would have pasta in your fridge.
If I opened so like there's this like I think they sell it on Albert. Like this, like they're like in plastic bags. I don't know, like you have to put them in the fridge because one time I didn't and it went bad.
Isn't it like tortellini or some stuff?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So that I would have some avocado. I love avocado. Butter. I would have some fruits. Nothing too interesting, but I would have Coca-Cola. I'm a Coca-Cola person. It's like I would have my avocado and I have my olive oil and my salmon, but I need to like work on that, but my dinner is not good if for some reason I didn't have like Coca-Cola next to it. I'm trying to work on it, like I'm trying to stop. But yeah, you would find Coca-Cola in my...
Is it a mess or is it organized?
It's...
Half.
No, I mean, I live with like
Medium.
2 more people, so I have like one shelf. It's hard to be super messy there.
To be fair, that's true. It's maybe a tough question or might not be. If you could spend a day with any famous person, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Who would you choose?
I hate questions like this.
Oh, that's horrible then.
because I need to like sit down and think for like 20 minutes. Okay, so...
You could just say somebody. You can change your mind later, but...
can I actually like name a band?
Of course.
Okay, so I for many years I really like the 1975 music band, and maybe I would just but not spending a day. I would just like to have an interview with them or something like that. It's hard. Can I just name my sister? I miss her a lot, and she's an actress, so it could count. No,
I think it's actually very nice.
Yes, I would spend a day with her. I haven't seen her like for a year, so Ola. I will send this video to her. So yeah. Okay, I found an easy way out of it.
It's genuine.
Yes.
It's genuine. Okay, and the last question, and that's a question that you might not have an answer for, or you might, because we're moving to the end. Because already we've been. I think it's going to be 1 hour, and I have class in 15 minutes, and I need to eat panini, of course, from Opus. The
There's
best
this new
panini in the world.
By the way, with salami. Have you tried it?
With the
really
pepperoni or...
Pepperoni.
Yeah, I tried it, but I prefer the ham cheese. It's classic.
Turkey and cheese is better.
Turkey and cheese.
Yeah.
I think I haven't tried it.
I also tried 3 cheese yesterday. It was good.
It was actually... formaggi?
Yeah, it was actually good. Like, they have feta cheese in there, so it's good.
No, the panini is good. The toasts are...
Sometimes it's good, you know.
It's
okay. Like in the morning.
Did you ever had the salad there?
Yeah.
It's okay. Could be better. Could be better. Could be worse.
Yeah. Continue.
What is your, like, if you could say something to people, you have the platform right now. Is there any motivation, any advice, anything you would tell people that you have the possibility now?
Okay. Good question. I knew you would ask something like this.
It's the ending
and I would
question.
have to sit like that.
If you knew, you already prepared for sure.
Okay, so maybe I would think about like this semester. It was very interesting, but sometimes it was very struggling, and maybe it would sound very like basic. Oh, take care of yourself, da-da-da. But actually, it's very important. I would just say that try to. Okay, that's a message to like all the students.
Yeah.
Try
to me as well, right?
Yeah. Try to go out. Try to meet people, even if you feel like it's gonna be uncomfortable. I'm not ready for this. I don't know anyone there. Go for 30 minutes. Go for 1 hour. I don't know. Have your phone with you charged, so if anything, you can just like, if you feel super anxious, just like look at your phone. It's okay, but go out. Try to go out, and then have some rest, because I've been feeling like sometimes I'm just like too much into my friend's business or like school and like calling my mom and this and that, and then you always putting yourself like on the background, like it doesn't matter, like it's fine, I'm working, it's good. So just if you actually feel like you don't have any energy anymore, it's okay, just go to some, I don't know, coffee place that you like, go home, spend time by yourself. And maybe it's basic, maybe you hear it everywhere, but 2 things, like try to go out, try to meet people, and then have some rest, and that would be a
combination of the 2.
Yes, yeah. It's just take care of yourself. Yeah.
You need to take care of your mental health too, and I think without other people, it will never work really, does it? Will it? Well, some people are more like introvert, but still,
Yeah, we still need social support. I have a friend who would debate with me on that, but you need that, and
yeah. Well, there you have it. This is the end of the UNYP podcast. I thank you, Sara, that you came here. I hope you. Do you want to take those, or
sure?
You want to take them?
Yep.
The yo-yos?
We can have mignonki.
Oh yeah, nicely unfinished.
Sorry.
You didn't like it? You didn't like it?
It's interesting.
Interesting is never a good answer, but yeah, it's fine. I'll eat those. I like them. Yeah, I could have bought you some like what I personally love, but it was too big, and
Which one?
Mila. It's like green, packaging. Mila. It's like a coffee based, like waffle.
Next time.
I don't know. Very good, very good. For you as a coffee person, would be maybe very good. Okay, so thank you for coming in. Thank you for being there, being here with me. And I also thank you all for listening to this podcast, and see you and hear. Oh, well, see you. Maybe I don't know if I'll see you, but
maybe
I'll be excited to see you in another interview.
Thank you.
Peace.